That again. I got my computer crashed, and I know what it is. Sometimes when I do updates to streams and I make new things and all like that, like these different scenes, which I did right before stream, it'll sometimes screw up the graphics card and make it crash. So it crashed just now, and I'm going to. I gotta do this. I'm going to attempt again to stream. If it doesn't work, I don't know what to tell you. But we'll see. But oh, here's the ace king hand, by the way. I had raised pre-flop and gotten timed out, and I made it back in time. I'll show you in a sec here after I play this hand. So this player limp, or makes a raise and then bets half pot. We're just going to let it go. So this is what it was when I came back. I had raised, gotten two callers, and then got the computer crashed. So I came back and I decided it's just a check because even the blind's in there. This player bets big. This guy jams over the top. I decide just to fold the ace king, and the dude flops dead. So glad I didn't stick around for that. Not anything else really interesting. There we go. Yeah, we should be good here. Yeah, I honestly don't know what's making my computer do that, to tell you the truth. I guess we just gotta wait on another table because these other games aren't starting. There's lists 8 deep, and we're not starting more tables. And it's not like the tables are good. It's just nothing's going. Maybe we have to start playing heads up. But I kind of doubt it. Just calling the button here. Pick up a 6, a backdoor draw. The lead out is supposed to be strength, but it can just be an 8. I do think with backdoor spades we can absolutely call. 7's not great because of hands like 8-7, 6-7. Not so much 8 or 9-10 because that's a pure gutty. I feel like this is a draw, but the problem is he can have me beat where he can have 8-9. So I'm just going to fold. I mean, it's just smash, smash. He could just have like a pair of jacks or something. Or whatever. This is the... Yeah, this player limped, I raised and took it down. This is the 4,500 weekly. Got a gut shot over here. Open ender, I'm going to go ahead and bet. I expect to be up against more flush draws than I do pairs. And we're just going to go ahead and bet the river. Did it kind of quick, but it is a big bet. Nice. We take it down. It's just, there's just way more draws there. Ooh, speaking of draws, I raised and ended up with top 2 pair. I'm just going to go big. That's all right. If you can't call that, then I'm not going to get any action anyway. And I do have another cash game going. Let's see. If I can get the sizing right on the table. Does that look right? It's a little off. Let's see here. Move that over. Yeah, that looks right. Oh, it's maybe a little small. Is it? Maybe they're both small. Huh. That's weird. I mean, it fits. Fuck it, right? Yeah, it fits. Looks good. The only other thing I could think that's fucking with my computer is the browser being open, but it shouldn't be a problem. If it crashes again, I'm going to keep the browser closed, which means I can't watch the stream, or I'll have to watch it on my phone. Maybe this one's wrong? No, that's okay. This one? Yeah, they're all alright. I think this one's almost past, 3 minutes on this one. It broke the prize pool. Alright. Five, 7 could have been that draw too, or he could have sucked out the 7 on the turn. If I was in position, I could have called that second bet, or out of position, I could have check called that second bet, and then led rivers. But in position, I think it's actually a disadvantage there. It's interesting. So do we like the new setup? Where you guys see one table at a time? This is what I'm looking at. Should I leave it up like that and then zoom in when I got something? That might be easier, huh? This isn't too small. How's this cash game? Good, but I got equally good seats. So, I don't need it. Maybe I could have replaced this one with that. Yeah. I don't think it matters. The players I'm looking to play against are at pretty much every table, so it's fine. So we like the overall view and the zoom in. So you guys can see everything I'm seeing, and then I'll zoom in on the tables where we got hands. Like that. That's a really bad card. I was going to bluff most turns, but Jesus, that's bad. I don't think we win. I think we lose to a better ace high, honestly. But there's just a chance somebody has a pair. Oh, there it is. This guy have ace jack. Queen 6. Interesting. With no bluff attempt. Oh, that sucks. See, this is exactly the guy I wouldn't raise, because he would do dumb shit, and he would give up all the money when a pair of 8s is just good. But with this player raising, there's nothing I can do. So I raise pre-flop and then a big bet on the flop. I'm going to let it go. That's fine. There's an argument for backdoor diamonds. Yeah, see, this is just... Watch him go ape shit with 9-10. Like... It's just silly. Spec is going to win this one with position. I'm not batting at this board. You win. What the fuck is going on here? I got a glitch. I'm not even at the max. Jesus. I got glitched. I should be reloading. To maximum. With this short of a stack, we just jam. Hold. Hold. The hand never plays that way, but I'm short. Like, I don't play the fucking tens that way, but I guess the glitch made me money. I was totally like, the add money thing wasn't clicked. Like, so I had to click it. But I only had 32 bucks because of that. So with 60 blinds, we just jammed the tens. That's so funny. I would have called that. He would have c-bet. On this board, I would have called. He would have c-bet. I would have called. Turn, he probably checks. River, he checks. I bet and fold. So I probably win like $6. But because I only had 60 blinds, we could just jam the money in. Helmuth style. 60 blinds deep. No need to reload. That's funny. No other hands. Not like this is one. These tens again. I don't always raise tens from the big blind, but this player's literally flopping everything, so I think it's a good opportunity. This is the guy who had the queen six suited on the other one. I'll take it. It's an old man coffee, so kind of rough. You make a big bet. It's kind of hard to say because you want him to call with all the pairs that he just called there with, but they also trap. So, and they'll do dumb shit like jam nines there, and that can make me fold. Ooh. Oh, do it again. Just looks like I'm ISOing him. Of course he's calling that one. If he has any pair, we want to get it all. So I'm just going to bet. If he has a jack or a 7, he's just going to get it in.
One time, can I get a hand?
Ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum. Look at that flop. I mean, we risk quite a bit because no flush draws are going to fold here, but we want to make it seem like we're being robotic. So we want an ace to raise. I mean, he has a flush draw, he's not folding. But I'm just trying to get called by ace-queen. There's no point in just calling here. If a club comes off, it kills action. Hey, look at that. He has ace-queen. What a shock. What an absolute shock and surprise. Isn't that amazing?
I mean, come on. How do you guys expect to beat me?
That's kind of how I feel about that. Sometimes players take one off. If he did, I was going to check the turn and go bomb river. But I don't know this player that well. But he is sticky, so if he hits, we get paid. Like, he doesn't have to have an ace there. He just has to have something. I think we're past late reg in that one. Ooh, I'm in 5th in chips now in that tournament I just had the sixes on. Wow. Thanks, Wild Buffalo. Got some good stuff coming up. let's see here. This deep stack, yeah, late reg is closed. 139 players, 588 for first, paying top 24 for $35. Currently in 8th position with a triple starting stack. And I'm going to find out what I need for the in the money average in just 1 second here, which is always good to know. So we start out with 5,000 chips times 139 means there's 695,000 in the whole tournament. It's paying top 24, almost 29,000. So we're halfway there. That's the in the cash average. The final table, well, I guess that'll put the final table at about 80, something like that. About 700,000, 70,000 plus 30, so 77. Yeah, about 80,000, right? Okay, well now I gotta check my math. 695,000 divided by 9. Yep, 77. Look at that. Fold here. We can raise that. We can raise that. See which one catches, and then we'll zoom in. I don't know why, but I've been running hot in tourneys, but I can't get anything going in cash. I mean, I don't know. I mean, isn't that better? I mean, if you can crush tournaments, look at this. I got the same pocket tens on 2 tables. I'm just gonna go ahead and bet. I'm just gonna call the tens on the other table. Yep. There we go. So I took that one down. Same tens. Do they stay undefeated? So we saw a raise here and a call, and I called. It's kind of odd when nobody bets. I am going to bet the flop, or the turn, which I think is fine. This can be ace-king a ton. With the board pairing, it's kind of great because there's not a lot of sets out there. We don't get much action, but I mean, you know, we can sometimes get called there by like an ace-king, ace-queen. We charge flush draws. Occasionally, this is like pocket 8s or 7s, and it'll, you know, not bet the flop and call the turn. But, yeah, not a lot to be had there. But hey, the 10 of hearts, 10 of spades, undefeated today. Yeah, I need feedback. What do we think of the new look, the way I'm doing the stream now, where you can see what I'm doing and then zooming in? What do we think of that? I think it looks better. It's one of those things that's been around for a long time, but I just never did it because I just kind of was like, fuck it, I'm just going to show my screen in front of me. Halfway because I didn't know how to do it, and the other half after I learned it, I was like, that's a pain in the ass. And everybody else does it by using like these keypad controllers, so your left hand that's doing nothing, you're switching between screens. I don't have one of those, and I tried it once with this app on my phone, and it didn't really work. Like, it kind of worked, but, like, I kept having to look at my hand because I look when I type. But I realized I can do it in a way now, and it's just one more click. So it's just one more click to get to the table I want. So I'm pretty good with the mouse, so it's fine. Maybe if it becomes something better, I'll get a dedicated keypad for it. But fuck all that. I do believe we want to check most of these boards that don't favor me. Yeah, that's a fold from me, dog. Queens. Just calls pre-flop with queens. Wow. And then this one, I limped pre-flop, bet 1 blind on the flop, check turn. Now he's betting on the river. This is kind of 50-50. He's either got a monster or I have him crushed. That's why it looked weird, because he hit the monster on the river. Yeah, I lost the minimum. There's just no other way to go there. Unless I'd raise pre-flop, there's no other way to go. That's funny, though. Because I was expecting that exact bet from every hand. And I felt like he also had a jack. It's just funny that he hit the 3 on the river. Yeah, I'm gonna defend. This player's kind of wacky. Nothing's gonna come of it. Look at this. I got stuff everywhere. All right, this I can give up. This player's interesting. I would 4-bet quite often. Let's get a bet small. Can he have ace-king? Yeah. Can he have aces? Yeah. Kings? Yeah. Can he have sets? Yeah, I guess. But obviously we're not folding. I think he's supposed to have ace-king here a ton. That's an interesting card. Can he have kings? For sure, for sure. He can also have tens because that check min raise can be to like get to showdown, but obviously I'm not folding a turn set. Yeah, he had kings. Good for you. It was more likely that I would have sucked out on the turn with a 10 than I would with a queen. Yeah. That's so funny. He shouldn't be jamming that turn. But good for him. Player raised pre-flop, yeah, that's what I figured. I thought he'd bet the river, but what'd you have? Just like two tens. That's funny. He didn't bet the flop, or he bet the flop, but then he didn't bet the turn. He should have. I'm not calling. There's a limp here at a 5x. I'm not calling this. Stupid. I mean, the check raise typically is going to be a set. The check min raise is going to be a set. But obviously I'm not folding, you know, because he has to have exactly kings here. Like, he has to have exactly kings. He can have jacks. He can have nines. He can also have pocket tens, but if he has tens, he's not jamming the turn, so... So I really feel like he plays this hand wrong by jamming the turn. Because I'm going to call him with tens the same way. Like, he's going to have pocket jacks and nines and kings here. He just so happened to have the one combo. So, I think it's fine. Ace of the turn is kind of interesting. He's supposed to be on more flush draws than having aces. I am going to check. That's an interesting card. So if he checks, I'm going to bet. He should have a lot of flush draws. Obviously, he's not folding an ace ever. He may not fold a jack, but he could think I was trapping the trip aces. Yeah, this is just... And I have 8 high. I have to bet, you know. It's so funny. It's like, it just seemed like a flush draw. Pocket nines, 3x open from a big stack. Oof. Flopping sets in this one. Come on, protect your aces. Killed my action, man. You like this new setup? Thank you. This guy makes a lot of big bets. This player limped. I'm just going to check. So we see a limp over here from a big stack and a raise. I am going to 3-bet from the small blind. I'm going to play for a steal in that other one. I have a 4, so I should be good a lot. Yeah, I won that one. And I won that one. This one on the turn, it just checked to me and I just bet. I probably had the best hand, but a little protection. Take that one down with the 3-bet. It's kind of nice. It's kind of crazy though that this player is limping, and I mean, I guess because of my 3-bet, right? I guess because of my 3-bet, like, he folds. It's a nice takedown. Standard tournament poker. I just got to keep remembering to zoom out and make sure we're showing the right table. Might have some blind defense here. Is this table in the right spot? Yeah, it is. Alright. It's a pretty good defend. Blah. No point in raising. Yeah. If I had like Queen Jack, I would have raised. But there's no point in raising, and I want to make sure. See, like, that just gave me a lot of information because he hit the 5 on the river here. He shouldn't bet. He should just check. Like, if I'm on a flush draw, I'm just going to check back. Like, but meanwhile, he went ahead and bet pot. Like, that's so dumb. You have showdown. Like, I'm supposed to have a flush draw or a deuce, right? I'm not supposed to have a queen. So, like, all you're doing is throwing money away. So, it's really awesome. I like that he bet the full pot because I get to just call for value. When does that other tournament start? The re-entry. I think it starts fairly soon. A 4K. It starts in about 16 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to enter it right away. I'm kind of enjoying myself. We see a call. He's more likely to have spades than a 10. And I'm going to check, and we'll see what he bets. Queens! Wow, people are crazy. I guess the 10 saved me. Like, why wouldn't you 3-bet? I'm coming out of first, but you're supposed to 3-bet me. It's crazy. I mean, if he outflop me, that's fine. He calls. I'm supposed to look like I'm full of shit. And if he flopped a flush, it's whatever. I know he's got a monster. Like, we absolutely know he's got a monster. We just played a hand on the other table that I thought contributed to that. We just played this hand where I feel like he technically bluffed me. Like, I'll show you here. So, he raised small. He raised small, I called. On the flop, he bet small, I called. On the turn, he bet small, I called. On the river, the only thing that really changes is the fact that he bet 3 times. I could have heroed this, but I decided not to. And just folded, so he won like $4 off me. And then I take him for 55. Seems fair. So what beats what? Min raised and then called 3-bet. I'm going to check back. The spade is kind of interesting. I do think I can bet after what he just saw the last hand. Can he have pairs that make sets? Sometimes. But I do think we want to bet here. Like, a lot of players don't know you're supposed to check the nut flush draw on the flop. But if he's a learned player, which he might be, I'm not really sure. 4 in the river. I'm gonna go for it here. He's not folding a 7. He's not folding a flush. I'm just trying to get him off of like a pair, like a weird pair. He could definitely have like 10s or something. I think I get check raised more than I get called here, but if he has the ace of spades in his hand, this is hard to pull off. Like, my biggest fear here is that he has, like, black aces. Or ace of spades, ace of hearts, or whatever. But does he ever have a set here, and is he able to fold a set? If he's taking this long with anything more than, yeah, with anything less than, like, 2 pair, he should not be taking that long. But I think maybe he had, like, a pair. He could have had, like, a pair of 10s, right? And my hand just looks like ace-king suited. It's kind of a really good one. This player limped. I checked it in the blind. You can have it for that big bet. stole that one. It went raise pre-flop. We all called. I bet the turn. I probably had the best hand. This one was raise pre-flop. We both called. Because of the player behind, I'm going to let it go. This player raised. I defend my blind. I'm just going to call. I don't think we can win a big pot unless we get him to bluff. He can have overpairs. Set. Alright, I need another cash game table because I'm sitting out because I have doubled up. Ooh, hello. I got a good table. Not a great seat, but a good table. Little fun one with deuces that I'll show you in a minute. Here's a new cash game table. This looks really good. Nice. Does that look right? It's okay. Oh. This is just one of those stupid little tournament things that you should observe. I raised, got called. He's defending the blind super wide. You just go ahead and bet half pot and take it down. Anytime they see a king or an ace on the flop, you're just going to win the fucking pot. Like, that's just all there is to it. And then they have to have a king there. Like, people won't even call with second pair there. Not in a tournament. Cash game, different story. Wow. Look at this. Raise, call, jam. I'm doing too well in this tournament to gamble. I have double the average at this point. Fuck that. It sucks. Because, like, this is like... Typically, this is ace-king all day. Or it's like... No, no, it's a lot of overpairs, too. It's pocket jacks. It's pocket queens plus. Queens plus. Ace-queen? Wow. Look at this shit. Look what I had to fold. Look at the dumbest fucking shit ever. I definitely couldn't have called it after this player called it. I mean... It's just so dumb. Oh, I'd have 40k right now. I'm in 7th right now. I'd be in 1st for sure. Wow. I'm gonna bet smally small. This guy's aggressive. Oh, you guys didn't see it. I had ace-9 on the other table and I raised and flopped 2 pair. So, I bet small and this guy folded. He was the only guy. He was defending the blind. I probably could have checked it, but... Meh. And you saw, I think you saw this one, right? I just bet the flop here into 2 players after raising in first. And it's just like, that is not going to continue enough. You have to bet big because you want it to look like ace-king. Like, you don't want to leave any doubt. I'm in the blind on all 3 of these tables. Look at this. In both tournaments and there. This is my buddy again. He is opening from the button. Doesn't mean he has to be wider. Most people should be, but I just bluffed this guy. I don't know if he watches the stream. Yeah, I don't think he does. He's really an OMC. Like, and I know it sounds crazy because he's got the OMC avatar, but... Alright, we're about to go on break here. I'm just going to play out this hand. No means no. You see why I like this table? Alright. I'll be right back. There are a lot of good tables today. Doing pretty good. Aces. I mean, he can definitely have 2 pair plus, but I think we still go for value. King 10's not going to fold. The jack's kind of interesting. We're just going to try to get called by a king. Hey, I'll take it. back to this table. Nope. He's just so silly. The guy's raising every button when it folds to him. He really shouldn't because he doesn't know how to handle it. So it's interesting here because ace-queen off, I think I would be 3-betting a ton. But ace-queen suited. And there's a lot of chips on this table. Wow. The problem is this player is a complete and utter fish. So he might want to get it in with, like, believe it or not, pocket eights here. I don't think I can call. Because if this player jams, I'd have to fold. Ugh. That's just unfortunate position. It's just so bad. That sucks. But there's other hands. Alright, we'll call my buddy. Wow. Like when you don't defend for 6-1, but you'll jam versus a limp, small blind versus big blind. I'm just going to check. I think this is one where we're better off checking down so this guy doesn't constantly think we're full of shit. So when you have your worst hands, it's better to just... check down, let him have it. Yeah, there you go. You can have that one. I could have won it at any time. But I'd rather win the big pots from him by bluffing. Which is what we've been doing. This player does have some limps in his range that shouldn't be there. Like ace-queen. I think for that reason I'm actually just going to fold, because I think this is a 4-better fold, so I'm just going to give it up. Let's take a look and see what happens here. He got cold called and then called. This should be a check raise a lot. Wow. Let's see, he has exactly like the king queen of spades or a set. But I think if you have ace king here, you just check now. Wow. And the spade comes off. If nobody bets, I could have stolen this for sure. There's the nuts. Wow. So the other guy had ace 5 and then queens. Wow. See, that's why it was a 4-better fold. So, interesting. It's not that big of a bet. I'm going to go ahead and call it. I mean, in relation to the pot, it cost me like... I'm getting like 3.5 to 1. And I think we'll know pretty quickly what he's up to. So the problem here is that the only move basically commits him to the pot, so I'm just going to go ahead and fold. It could have been bullshit, but it could have also been legit. Like, he could have underplayed, or he could have under-raised, like, an overpair. And he's not going to fold ace-king. Got a couple hands here. We get called. I expect this player to have all flush draws, so I'm just going to charge him. Look at that flop to set. This player opened huge, too. And we take that one down. He bets small, which could mean he has queens. I'm just going to call. Alright, not really worried about queens anymore. Hopefully he picked up a flush draw. I don't think he has anything, though. I'm never folding, like, what the fuck, you got pocket nines? Wow, did you really have the flush, or do you just have, like, pocket kings? No, not kings. Oh, he does have kings. Look at that. I could have gotten it all on that flop. That's crazy. I mean, I guess kings kind of makes sense because he checked the turn, but I mean, I guess I could have gotten a lot more. He opened 7x with kings and lost the minimum. That's crazy. That's good for him. I mean, if I raise the flop, though, we just get it in. See, it's another argument against slow play. Look at this. I raise pre-flop. We check the flop, and I spike the deuce. Or this guy raised pre-flop. We all check the flop, and I spike the deuce on the turn. I'm going to go ahead and bet big. Just because I want to charge flush draws, and I feel like sometimes this player has a hand he wants to keep going with, and he has a ton of chips. So, nope. Defend. Pretty good. Either wants to get it in, or I'm not going to get another penny. That king on the turn is rough. But if he's got ace-king, it's just too bad. Set of nines. Why don't you just get it in? That's funny. I mean, I'm never folding. The king on the turn could have killed his action for sure. But he was just too short. That's annoying. And I'm still doing great. I'm 30% ahead of the average. It's taken a long time. I figured he either had ace king, ace queen, or he had pocket, or he had the set. Actually, to be truthful, the set didn't cross my mind in the moment. But for monsters, it's really all he can have. He can't really have aces. He can't really have nines, or he can't really have threes. But he can have exactly nines. There's nothing really going on here. I mean, I could take a shot at this, but I think this is just good for advertising when you just check down. Plus, nobody with an ace should fold now. You don't want to look like you're just always stabbing and stabbing, because then you'll get no credit. This player's playing 80% of hands. We're at 12 minutes. I mean, I'm getting 7 to 1. I need 11 to 1 technically, but 7 to 1 is pretty good. Oh, I moved the table. Well, I got an 8. Maybe we can win. Get called. Really? 5-6, 2 pair, flush draw. I have to call because he could have a flush draw. If he bets again, I'm going to fold. Wow. Did you flop a set? You flopped a set. I don't think I'm ever folding 2 pair there, though. This table's got resized poorly. Alright, that looks right now, right? Yeah. What about this one? Yeah, that looks right. Sorry, got a little overzealous with the clicky. Ooh. Oh! Unlikely resuck. Sitting at 24K, and this one the average is 30. That's really weird the way he just called it. Like, if he had just jammed the flop, like, I should just... I mean, maybe the min raise messed that guy up who had the 9s. Yep. Felt it coming. That and King Queen. It's alright. It's good to lose the minimum there. What did I lose on that with a turn straight? What did I lose, like 12 bucks? Less. Wow. I lost like 8 bucks. Yeah, I'm going to go for it. This player is super loose, but I don't think he just jams too crazy with this much of a stack. Nice. I'm not folding here. If this player wants to go with like a pair of 8s, it's fine. I mean, he already put in 1,200 of his 7,600. Like, that's just how bad that guy played. Like, that's like, called off like 20% of his stack and then wouldn't put it in. It's just dumb. Except for the random 10, I should be good here. Yep. No reason to bet. I'm not going to protect ace king. Man, it's just like we want the king to come off. It's weird because when you check all that, when an ace hits the river, somebody out of position will lead it, thinking that they can represent the ace because you didn't c-bet, because everybody thinks you just c-bet ace king 100% of the time. So sometimes you get a nice big bet out of that. This guy's limping 80% of hands no matter what position. Finally have something I can raise with. We gotta go for value. He's gonna have all draws. I thought about checking it, or betting small, but if he has a draw, he's not going to fold, so we might as well charge him anyway. And he never has an ace. I mean, occasionally he has a suited ace that we have crushed, so... And them tier. This player is big stack, so I'm gonna check. Check the turn. Sucks. I mean, it's my spot to bet, but he's just so big. How would I know I've studied enough to not worry about playing where I can track hands? I'm currently down less than 2 buy-ins overall based on 25 NL over 40K tracked hands. Okay, so you're down 2 buy-ins, so 200 blinds, right? Over 40,000 hands. But if I count untracked, you're up 20 buy-ins. I think that gives you kind of a clue as to what you're screwing up, man. Are they different sites that you're playing on, which is why they're not tracked? Currently on a downswing, and Bovada was up about 4 buy-ins for the last few sessions. Huh. But here's the thing, even over 40,000 hands, being up 4 buy-ins isn't, you know, isn't great. This is a bet, check bet. Oh, sorry. I raised pre-flop, he called. I bet the flop, he called. He checked the turn, I checked the turn. I bet the river. It's just always a flush draw. But yeah, so after 40,000 hands, being up 4 buy-ins, it's, what is that, 400 blinds divided by 400. That's 1 big blind per 100. You know what I mean? So that's not really significant, you know. If you were up, 40 buy-ins, 10 big blinds per 100, that would be something, you know what I mean? So the downswing I wouldn't really worry about. It's, being up or down less than 5 buy-ins is really insignificant. I mean, honestly, at those stakes, I think it's 10 buy-ins. Like, if you're swinging up and down 5 buy-ins, over 40K, meaning if you're down 40 buy-ins or 5 buy-ins after 40,000 hands, or 4 buy-ins after 40,000 hands, you're losing 1 big blind per 100, right? And that just means you're about break even. But like winning 2 big blinds per 100, I would also consider break even, right? I really think you focus way too much on the buy-ins, man. I think you're focused too much on your your buy-ins or your big blinds per 100. I think you're too focused on your amount of buy-ins, you're up or down. I think you just need to play for a while and stop analyzing, because if you got 40,000 hands in and it has to be at the same stake, by the way, because you could be up 10 buy-ins playing 10 and L, or 40 buy-ins playing 10 and L, and that's $400, right? And over 40,000 hands, that's pretty good. That's 10 big blinds per 100, right? But then if you jump to 25 and L, all of a sudden you're winning $400 is 8 buy-ins. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not as significant. Or your $400, instead of being 40 buy-ins, is now 8 buy-ins because you went up in stake. So it's kind of really insignificant. Yeah, nothing's going on right now. A little doldrum here. I just raised and take it with the 8s. But if you count the untracked, you're up 20 buy-ins. I mean, like, I'm guessing you're playing on 2 different sites, right? So for me, if that was the case, like, here's the difference between like WSOP and ACR, right? WSOP that you guys see me playing on when I stream, because ACR has problems streaming, I play tons of cash on, right? I'm playing 50 NL, I'm playing up to 50 NL, sometimes 100 NL if there's really good games, stuff like that, and I'm playing tournaments, right? Now, there's no tracking software on WSOP, so to know how well I'm doing, I basically just look at my balance, right? Like, that kind of just tells me, that I'm a winner, and I can see the the buy-ins and the withdrawals and things like that, right? So it's not that complicated. But I've been playing on ACR at night and off stream, and I've been playing a lot of Blitz, and my win rate is much lower. Now, I'm only playing 10 and 25 and L over there playing Blitz, right? So my win rate is much lower. But I'm getting in 5 times as many hands, right? So I'm winning at a comparable rate, but I'm not playing as big because I don't have enough or as much bankroll over there as I do over here, right? And it's really just a side project at this point. 26K of the hands are at 5 and L. Okay, then it doesn't matter. You can't. Okay, then here's the thing. You can't count it as 4 buy-ins, for $25. Because think about it, 4 buy-ins playing 25 and L, $100. Easy math, right? What's $100 for 5 and L? That's 20 buy-ins. Like, if you're up 20 buy-ins in 26,000 hands, I mean, that's awesome, dude. Like, so you have to look at exactly what it is for the blind you're playing. Like, so you got 40K tracked hands. How many of those are 25 and L? And and you can filter it, right, on Poker Tracker. You can say, okay, I want to look at all my my 5 and L hands, right? And you can look at them and you go, okay, I have 30,000 5 and L, for which I'm up 30 buy-ins. You know what I'm saying? That's fucking amazing. That's awesome. And then you jump up in level, and it's like, well, now I'm only up, what is that, 30 buy-ins at 5NL, then I'm only up 6 buy-ins at 25NL. No, dude, you won the buy-ins at the level. So, yeah, you're looking at it wrong. You're looking at it wrong, man. You got to filter for the stakes you're playing. You play 10,000 hands at 5NL, you can look at those results. But you can't say I'm up $100 over 40,000 hands if 38,000 of them are 5NL and then you lost 2 buy-ins playing 50NL, you know what I'm saying? Then now you're down, 10 times as much. It's not the same. You got to compare it apples to apples. So, what's your win rate for 5NL, right? Figure that out, and then cool. What's your win rate for 25NL? You know what I'm saying? They're completely separate games. I think you're getting discouraged incorrectly. You're down less than 2 buy-ins over 40,000 hands. So, let me get this straight. So, that means you're down less than $50 over 40,000 hands. But if you won $50 playing 39,000 hands of 5NL, right? That's 10 buy-ins. That's not bad. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty respectable. But if then you go to a 25NL table and get aces versus kings twice, now what? You crashed your win rate for the whole 39,000 hands? So after 40,000 hands, you're down 2 buy-ins? No. You say, okay, well, I've only played 1,000 hands of 25NL and I'm down less than 2 buy-ins. Then it's an insignificant loss. It doesn't matter. You got to count it in buy-ins for the level you're playing. So what I was saying is I've been playing on ACR off stream and playing tournaments and stuff, and I figured I would just turn it on when I final table, and I got to final table like a couple weeks ago, and you guys saw that one. Went okay. But like, it's a completely different game between sites. Like, I'm playing this site, I'm playing literally identically to how I would play live versus these same players. On ACR, I'm 4-bet bluffing at a rate of like 5-1 playing blitz. Like, because these people don't know how to just call a raise. They only 3-bet. So you open in the cutoff or the button playing 25 blitz or lower, then you're going to get 3-bet like every time from the blinds. I got kings on this other table. Nice. Yeah, I got kings over here and I opened. So you have 14,000 hands. If you have 26,000 hands at 5NL, you have 14,000 hands at 25, and you're down less than 2 buy-ins. Dude, it's not even worth talking about. It's literally ego. I can't fold here if this player wants to raise. That might be the nut worst card. He can still have a lot of 10s. 10s and 7s. I have to call that. Yeah, he made a flush. But he could have bet so much bigger and gotten paid. It's fine. He did everything wrong in that hand. That sucks. I'm taking a bad turn here. I'm down 157 at 25NL over 9K hands. Up 71 at... Okay. All right, here we go. All right. Okay. So now we know how to look at it. All right, let me look at it here. All right, give me a second here. I got to fix a couple things. All right, let's bring up the calculator here. Okay. So... up $71 at 5NL, okay? So, $71 divided by 0.05. Okay, that's 1,420 blinds, right? Over 26,000 hands. So, what is that? Divided by 260. So your big blind per 100 rate in 5NL, 5.461. Pretty good. Pretty damn good. That's where I would consider myself a winning player at any stake. 5 big blinds is enough. Okay. Now, let's look at, you're down 157 at 25NL. So that's 157 divided by 0.25. So you're down 628 blinds, right? Am I wrong? Hang on, let me think here. No, 157 divided by, yeah, quarters, right? You're playing 1025, so divided by 0.25. Yeah, 628 blinds you're down. Over 9,000 hands. Divided by 90. So you're losing at a rate of 6.97 blinds per 100. Okay? Now you could say, oh no, the games are so much tougher, I'm losing some. No, but you haven't put in that much volume. You haven't put in that much volume. I guarantee you, at some point in that 26,000, after you had a few thousand hands ready, you were negative this much. I guarantee it. So you're running bad. The games play almost identical. The only difference is between 10 or 5NL and 25NL is that players play a little bit tighter pre-flop. They have a little bit more knowledge, and they don't value bet enough on the river. And nobody bluffs the river playing 25NL. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen 90% of the time when they should. So I wouldn't even consider this bad. I would say this now gives you the freedom, because losing 7 big blinds per 100, you're talking about being down 600 blinds. 600 blinds. That's, I know it sounds like a lot, but it's 6 buy-ins and change. 628, right? That's 6.3 buy-ins. Dude, you can swing that in a day. Putting in a good session for like 1,500 hands, if you're multi-tabling or whatever like that, over the course of like 6 hours, if you're playing 4 tables, 1,500 hands-ish, something like that, you could swing 6 buy-ins real easy. Real simple. I mean, think about it. What does it take to lose 100 blinds? Aces versus kings cracked, is 100. Set over set is 100. You know what I'm saying? These things happen. Like, I wouldn't even consider you a losing player there until you're... And it's only over 9,000 hands. That's a short run. Until you put in at least 20,000 hands, I don't think you can figure your win rate. And I would be curious after 20,000 hands if you're even. So like, think about this. Let's say you put in another 11,000 hands, right, at 25NL, and your win rate is 0 big blinds per 100. So does that mean you're a losing player? I'm just gonna rip this. No. It means that you were running bad, and then you won at a rate that you lost at. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think you can look at these numbers skewed. I think you can always look at the last 20,000 hands, 15,000 hands that you played, right? So like, let's say you have 40,000 hands in at a certain level. You can look at the last 15,000 to see how your win rate is. Because you'll see your first win rate, for the first 15,000 will be lower, and it should get progressively higher over time, right? So the first 15,000... you'll be 5 big blinds per 100. Then from 5,000 to 20,000, you're 5.5, big blinds per 100. Then from 10,000 to 25,000, you see what I'm saying? Like, it just keeps going up and up. I kind of really want to call this. I think I'm going to, because I don't expect much 4-betting behind, and I think we get at least one call, which makes this a good call up here. Yeah, dude, I think you're just running bad. Like, because it's the fundamentals are not different. This player fucking called and then see? God damn it, Spectra. This is utter bullshit, but we don't have enough room behind. Like, if I jam on him, it's fucked. Look at this. He's going to get jammed on and lose. This is always aces or kings. This is never ace-king. This is like tens. This is bad. What a fucking dumb move. That is so dumb. You need exactly aces here to call. I wouldn't even call kings here. This is so fucking dumb. I'm a fucking idiot. Such an obvious move. I have 10NL and 25NL Z mixed in there as well, but you're right. I'm just looking at it wrong. Yeah, dude, you're totally looking at it wrong. Yeah, each game is different. You even have to separate Zoom from regular poker because people play the game differently. Okay, this player just opened 10x in first. I'm going. I know this seems insane, but I'm going. Queens. That sucks. It's either queens or ace-king. 10, jack. It's just too much, and the blinds are 500 and 1,000. And I have fucking 20 blinds. Yeah, I'm always getting it in there. Do I want to play this other one? I'm not sure yet. Huh. Yeah, man, you got to separate by the game, the buy-in. You're down 130 over the last 1,000 hands. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Subtract that 130 from what you're down. And then what does that tell you? You're running bad. You're focused on the short run, man. I think 10 to 15,000. I think probably 15,000 if you have tracking software is a good gauge of how well you're playing. Like, because that's going to take you like a week or so, even playing my volume. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've had bad weeks where it's like, holy shit, I'm losing at a rate of fucking 20 big blinds per 100. And it's just like, okay. This kind of sucks because I'm really hamstringed now. But I have to do this. If he has a flush draw, he's just going to beat me into the pot. But I have to do that. I have to represent exactly ace-king. It sucks. Top 24 players down here getting paid. Yeah, we're almost hitting the cash. I don't really think I want to start another tournament. Not yet, anyway. Yeah, I'm just going to chill. Yeah, I'm just going to chill. I might get in. Here we go. Each game, each buy-in level, each format. So, like, if you're playing 9 max, you know, 10NL, you can't compare it to 6 max 10NL. And you can't compare 6 max regular 10L with 6 max blitz 10NL. And you can't compare 25NL to any of the 10NLs. You know what I'm saying? They're completely different games. Literally. It's anybody who says, oh, playing 6 max is just like 9 max, you just remove the first 3 spots. No, it's not. It absolutely is not. First of all, because you should be removing the first or the last 3 spots for range. But people don't do that. They go the other way. But you can't compare the two. They're completely different forms of poker. And I can attest to this because I'm far stronger in 9 max than I am in 6 max on WSOP. And on ACR, I'm much far stronger in 6 max than I am in 9 max. So it's like different sites, different games, different formats, different amount of players. I mean, we're just going to try to work the money in here. We're very close to the money. So we're going to go small. Top 24 get paid. There's 40 left. I'm currently in 35th place. This player is kind of a dummy. So he will absolutely get all the money in for no reason. It's one of those things where if we're beat, we're beat. But we're going to try to get the money in regardless. If he jams on me, I have to call. Because King, Queen. King, Jack, he just nutted it. I mean, what can I do there? There's nothing I can do. That sucks. Doesn't matter how much I bet, he's calling the flop. It's just whatever. I'm going to go ahead and bet here. I got my buddy up here. He's short. He's playing every hand. Getting called twice I don't like, especially with this player in there. So, I'm going to check. So he bets small. This is kind of goofy. I think if what calls, I'm going to call, and I'm probably going to call a jam here on the river because as long as it's not a diamond and he jams. I'm not folding. I mean, I don't know what eights what has, but we're obviously never folding. Just going to check, and he should be jamming. This also allows it when he jams and he raises, then we have to worry about an 8. Plus we get to overcall here. I sucked out. He sucked out. He had 8-5 on the turn. That's funny. It's the only way I overcall there. Look at this fucking old man coffee with pocket aces. Jesus Christ. I raise in first, we get a call over here, and this fucking moron just calls. If he 3-bets, I call, he gets out of the way. What a fucking idiot. He cost us both money. That's fucking hilarious. How do I like living in Vegas? I love it, man. It's not like it used to be. Like, it used to be a real 24-hour town, and it's not anymore. I don't know though. I don't know if I have it in me to enter this 4K. Like, I want to keep playing. Let me think here. Am I annoyed? Yeah, I don't think I'm in the mood for another tournament. But there's a lot of cash games. I definitely am not done yet. I only have 2 cash games going right now. I just don't want to be done yet. Like, I don't think I have it. I don't think I have it to start another tournament right now. Like, busting both of those is kind of silly. I was doing really well in that fucking thing too, and then just lost with big hands. Flop 2 pair versus a set. Aces gets cracked by a gut shot. I mean, the guy calls with a gut shot and 2 overs. He could just as easily, like, he had King Jack on the 10-9-4. He could have just as easily had king queen, and he's going to jam all that. Yeah, I like Vegas though. It's fun. I don't really get out much, but I do. There's a lot of stuff here now that didn't used to be here. Like, it used to be just all gambling and strip clubs and whatever like that, but now there's actually like nice things to do, even if you're a local. But yeah, after COVID came in, the town stopped being 24 hours. And I'm probably just taking the losses too hard. I don't get to play a lot of volume, so I just feel like it will take forever to get unstuck. It's not true. Like I said, you can swing 5 buy-ins. That doesn't mean down. That means swing. I mean, on average, when I play, I win or lose 2 to 5 buy-ins a day. Just if I'm just playing cash, I win or lose 2 to 5 buy-ins every day. So you're talking about being down 600 blinds. That's a couple of good days. You know, that's a couple days where you win 3 buy-ins. How is that hard to do? You know, you get dealt aces 3 times, you're going to get it. You know what I mean? That's all it is. So I know you don't get to play a lot of volume, but just make sure the volume you put in is quality. Make sure that you're not doing anything stupid because you're like, oh, I get to play. Don't look to use all your fancy moves. Like, you really just got to look at it like, I know it's been said a million times, but it really is one long session. And it's crazy because until you get the opportunity to like play every fucking day for hours and hours and hours, it's really hard to feel like it's one long session. But like after you do that for a couple of weeks, you're just like, oh yeah. Like it still hurts me because like I need the money, but you know, from hand to mouth right now. But I'm still like, oh, I was down. Like 2 days ago, I was down like for the week. I was down like. What was I down? I was down like 8 or 9 buy-ins, and then like over the last 2 days, I've won it all back. No tournaments. I just won. You know, I had like 5 or 6 bad days, and then 4 or 5, and then I had 2 not great days, but just kind of average-ish win days. You know, like on the days you win, this is about how much you win, and I got it back. You know, the point is to have stop losses so you don't tilt, right? Like. A lot of people, it's 3 buy-ins, but for me, I can kind of tell when I'm aggravated. My tilt's real easy because when I tilt, I don't feel like playing. Like I have the luckiest form of tilt in the world. Everybody deals with tilt. I don't give a shit what level they're at. If you don't think so, then all those hands you don't understand why somebody really good at poker did something stupid. The only one who might not have tilt, there's a few, but they talk about managing tilt, so I guess they do, right? I was thinking of Jonathan Little, Phil Galfond, and Fedor Holtz, and they all seem like they don't tilt, but they all talk about managing tilt. So I guess they just have better coping mechanisms, right? Other table just hasn't had any hands on it. I got 2 tables going, but I haven't got any hands. I'm on lists for like 6 more tables, or 3 more tables. 6 tables total. So this player limps. This guy plays 90% of hands and limps them all, and then now he has a raise, and then the old man coffee raises. I would fold jacks there. Ugh, don't show me that. See, now this is the driest board in the world. Old Man Coffee should just be betting reasonably, like half pot. It just checks. 3 betting ace king, but not aces, right? I wish I'd played this hand. So obvious. You know, with 3 hits the river, I'm just going to get it all. Cold call. So he cold called me. He can have 6s and 4s. I think I find out right here. When you get cold called by the 3-bet, this is never ace queen. This is a set of 6s. That's annoying. Oh, we got another table. It's just cash game. So we got 3 games, looking for 4. Hey, posted into something doable. I don't mind playing this kind of hand against him. Not bad. Might play a big one. I mean, and if he has aces, I have 12 outs twice, so we're going to go for check raise. But he doesn't bet a lot. That's the problem. I mean, he may bet if he has ace-king. Okay. He could definitely have aces here, but I'm just going to check raise. There's just no reason not to. Yep. Sorry, OMC. You recognize a squeeze, but you don't know what the fuck you're doing. There's Eric, the friend of the stream. He'll ask me later what I had on that one. I should probably take a picture. Versus the OMC. Look, he's 3-betting a lot more now. And this player is opening a lot more now. Look at this. This should be a snap. Yeah, kings, right? It's just old man coffee every time. Get an ace. Ace or king. Come on, baby. Oh, now he's going to leave. That sucks. So ridiculous that he's winning. Oh, you didn't see it. It was this hand. Here, I'll show you. There's this. Raise $2 in first from Joey. And then re-raise to 6 from Old Man C. And then Joey jams. OMC calls, kings are good. But it really is a testament to how tight you can be on Sundays and just win. This was min raised. I kind of believe him here. I think he's got king queen, and I kind of want to be able to bluff him in better spots. Ooh, somebody saw me check raise him on the other table. He might not go for this though. Yeah. Nice follow through. It'll be hard to get this guy off king queen though. That's a good card. You got to bet like 22. You giving up? You have like 2 pair? Shouldn't give up. He's only betting sets. He's not even betting aces. Should have bet again. I'll bet you anything if he bets the river, he wins there. It's hilarious. OMC was pissed, but if you go check raise, bet. You're going to win. He needs at least 3 of a kind. I can't believe he went for that move and then gave up. You check the turn. You can go check raise, check turn, and then bomb river. And it costs you less than going 3 barrels. I mean, an ace would have been hilarious. Fish hasn't reloaded. I also decreased my volume at 25 NL after the loss, so that didn't really help in feeling like I could get back. But my bankroll is still at about 50 buy-ins for 25 NL. Dude, if you're at 50 buy-ins for 25 NL, you shouldn't even pick your head up to analyze your results until you've lost 20 buy-ins. Then you can analyze your results. You know what I'm saying? But a couple buy-ins either way, nah. This is just... It's just one of those. Come on, man. Come on. He's just opening every button because it's like he read the first few pages of the book and then stopped reading. When you're on the button, you want to open with a wider range. And then he didn't realize what that range is. So he's just opening shit, but he's too tight post. Raise, call, I call. See a check. Is Eric checking? Nice. I had the best hand. Limp call. He can have a lot of 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s. The ace is better for me. As long as he doesn't have a set, right? Jacks? Wow. How bad are you? He limp calls jacks. He limp calls jacks. Oh my god. Such a dummy. And I guarantee he's folding if I bet again, but he's supposed to have a range that consists of shitty pairs. Wow. That's so funny. These people, like, don't know what to do. Like, they really don't think it out. You gotta remember, man, that's the point of having a bankroll. 50 buy-ins at any level, you're an easy street, man. I mean, for me to play 100% comfortably, which I'm not even at right now, 30 big blinds is about what I need. Or 30 buy-ins is about what I need for any level I'm playing. Don't have that right now. And you can see how, like, I'm playing. I'm playing right. I'm making moves. Squeezing. Playing good. But if I have 50 buy-ins, when I have 50 buy-ins, I don't even think about it. Like, I'm not, like, running over the table, but, like, I don't even get nervous on bluffs. Like, it's just... Because it's just what you do. It just becomes like an exercise in GTO. I gotta close the blinds, get the glare in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? There's no thought process. It's like, oh, this is the board, this is the action, this is what you do. It's a little rougher when you're short stacked, or when you're short bankroll. Because then, because you can do everything right and lose. This is another one where I could definitely squeeze, and I think Spec will squeeze sometimes, but my hand is kind of high in the range for a call. Wow, how great is a king now? Like, and nobody sees it when you have when they make the king here. You can have 10 jack, queen jack, ace queen, I guess. Look at that, I made the king. Getting called by a jack every time. Even two pair might call. And the full pot looks like bullshit. I probably could have overbet it. Ah, I feel like he really wanted to do something there. Alright. Got me a slice. I'm just going to check. Because this is a flush often. Or two pair. 2 pair. Look at this. What'd I say? 2 pair. Oh, 2 pair versus 2 pair. I'm surprised it took him that long to call. Oh, I got another table. Ooh, good table too. Let's see if I can get it lined up. That's not a great flop for 8s now, is it? I mean, I'm going to be good here unless he has a jack. He's just too short. There's no point in bluffing. Trying to get these tables matched up. How's this one look? Hey, got it right. So now this is what I got. These are all 50 and 0. I have position on all the people I want position on. I got it on the old man coffee, and I got it on this maniac. That's the other thing, man. If you feel yourself getting like scared, so you're decreasing volume, you might want to just stick with a lower buy-in level. Like you can drop down just to get your confidence back, you know.
Too cheap. Too cheap.
I'm rolling.
Choo-choo, you want to go outside? We have to wait for your brother to finish his roll.
What's that?
Tell him we have to wait for his brother to finish his roll. Do you want to go outside, baby? Want to go to the park?
Yeah, fuck it.
Come on.
Hell yeah. It's so fluffy. Ooh. King Queen will check flops. Just gonna bet. I guess I can just get back to normal volume at 25 and L and just ride the wave and stop overthinking it. That's my best advice. I think that's the best thing to do, man. But here's the thing. If you do feel trepidatious, right? Like if you do feel nervous about playing 25 and L, you know what I'm saying? Nobody says you can't say to yourself, you know what? I don't care what happens. I'm going to play my best game. What the fuck is going on here? So for the next 1,000 hands, I'm playing 5 and L. And then you can just, you know, play lower, play 5 and L, get your confidence back, and then just be like, all right, now we'll play 25. You know what I mean? We can play both at the same time, too. That kind of helps, too. Like, when I'm playing a higher buy-in level, I like to have my regular buy-in levels going and just have, like, let's say I play 4 tables, right? So if I put 100 NL up there, I'll just, wow, that's pretty good. Full pot. See, now he bet full pot and it was bullshit. When I bet full pot, I'm trying to get him to think it's bullshit. Anytime somebody's betting full pot, especially when you had the lead pre-flop and they're out of position donking, it's usually garbage. But yeah, you can drop down and just be like, you know what? I'm going to put in 1,000 hands of 5 and L because I feel good there. And then just put in the 1,000 hands, and then when it's over, be like, you know, how do you feel? You'll be like, yeah, I can do this. And then you just jump into 25 and L and you'll play right. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be nervous. Just realize, man, with 50 buy-ins at 25 and L, with more than 20 buy-ins at 25 and L, you should not have a risk of ruin. You know what I mean? You would have to run ultra bad to get down you know, 30 buy-ins. Might have a call here on the river. Hey, Eric, what's up? Eric redeemed the aces. Yeah. God, I thought it was a 9. Now, no means no is going to usually bet fairly large here. I was looking to do something nefarious. I don't think he has anything. Well, don't tell me I cracked aces. Don't tell me. Jacks. Oh, that's so perfect. I could have gotten it all. It's so funny because I was thinking, like, how do I get him with jacks if he has a jack here? But how does he have a jack? Oh, that's so brutal. I could have gotten it all. Oh, Eric, you had aces? Nice. This is all Broadway opens. The other one folded. He's going to have a queen a ton here. Like a ton. Wow. The ace-king, they folded. I just stole it. I don't know if I want to get fancy here. Because he's supposed to have king, queen, ace, queen, queen, jack, queen, 10. All those. Here, Eric, I'll show you. I have 2 pair men. I'll let you guys know if he called. I don't know about this. I don't think I lose to anything. I don't think he has ace-king. So, if I thought he might have ace-king, I'd bet again, but I think he's just supposed to have a queen here a ton. Pocket 10s. He's not folding that. He's not folding. It's fine. It just, I mean, I don't think I'm losing to any non-pair hands. Like, I think he has ace-10, and he has, like, king-jack. God, I could have gotten it all if I jammed that river. But I thought he might have kings when he had the jacks. Yeah, I only sized down that bet because I thought he just had 1 pair. Aces, kings, queens. been playing a bunch of 10-0 on global and have been winning. There you go. So the confidence is there. I played 10-0 and 25-0 in my last session on Bovada and won 35 at 10-0, lost 30 at 25-0. Okay, but look at it. You're looking at it the wrong way. I won 3.5 buy-ins playing 10-0. I lost 1.25 buy-ins or 1.2 buy-ins at 25-0. That's the way you got to look at it. If you're counting in buy-ins, that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? And you still ended up $5 overall. So you crushed. You crushed overall. Because winning is harder to do than losing. You know what I'm saying? You crushed overall. You won 3.5 buy-ins. Then you lost 1 buy-in on the other table. I'll bet that 25-L hand was like set over set or aces versus kings or ace king versus queens or something like that, right? It was a big pot. It was one big pot really that did it in 25-L. Like you didn't get whittled. You know what I mean? This guy limped jacks before. It's nice to have an ace in my hand when he's limping. It's really nice. So he bets minimum. We're just going to call. Yeah. He's just never going to have an ace there. Like, I only called just because I'm trying to make it look like bullshit. So I called quickly. Got another 3-bet. Got a couple things going on here. Min raise and I 3-bet. Queen. We can have it. He's just too often going to have 10 jack. Or king queen. Cold call. Cold call, limp call. I got trip jacks in the top right. Or the top left. Nice. So this player raised, I called, this call, this call. Blackbird usually overprotects his hands, so I don't expect him to have much. I'm just going to go small bet. Get called. This guy's kind of a hero. So we're going to go for value. It's kind of rough if I get raised. Nope. Okay, now this player min opened. I called. Old Man Coffee here went to 5x, and we both called. I don't know if he has a c-bet range here. C-bet range contains all pairs. And that is, by the way, how you count your wins is buy-ins. It's like, how do you know you're doing well in tournaments? It's the number of final tables you make. It's not how many tournaments you win. But you can consistently make final tables at the same percentage all the time, but you can't control what happens on the final table. Weird shit happens. Granted, the more you win, the better you did, but... I am 3-betting this guy's min opens like every time. Okay, so he's got a pair. And believe it or not, this isn't a snap fold. Because I've seen this player do this with pocket sevens. I mean, if I had ace king, I'm never folding. If I have ace queen, I'm never folding. He's just tired of me raising him. This is very close. I open pre-flop, call. I see bet the flop. I mean, he should have a lot of queen jacks and shouldn't bet. Yep. That's what you would do if you had the suited ace of hearts. You would pick up the flush draw and then check, hoping to see the river. Yeah, $60 pot. Queen Queen versus Ace 10. He spiked a straight on the river. Next biggest loss was $6. Dude, it's just run bad. You can't look at it that way. You got to look at it by buy-ins and what happened. If you win that pot, we're not even having this conversation. Like, if he doesn't spike the straight on the river, we're not even having that conversation at all. Like, you're not even thinking about it. Yeah, you're looking at it the wrong way, man. So this is kind of interesting. I just don't have bets on the river. So I don't want to call here knowing that he doesn't have an ace and then lose to a pair of jacks. Yeah, this is just garbage. Yeah, no means no is about to go off the rails. So that's why we're here. Wow. Like, no bets here. These people are awful. It's hilarious. This OMC is on so many tables, and he's playing ABC. He's playing 100% ABC. He's definitely too tight pre-flop. This guy. Aces. Only aces. Ace Jack? Oh my god. I did not expect him to have Ace Jack. Wow. That's crazy. Okay. Maybe he's getting tired of getting 3-bet and folding. And this is the player you would call against because he fucking races pocket sixes. Wow. That is a hilarious turn of events. That is an anomaly. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow. From Efiste. Efiste? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, he's tilted off his fucking rocker. I knew he was bluffing. Look at this. He's just fucking tilted out of his mind. Oh my god. Don't quit! He might not have any more money on. Yeah, he's on short buys on the other tables. Oh my god. Honestly, I didn't know that until I looked right now. I just got off, never checked the stats, was just over it because the session was going great and the guy just gets one over on me. Yeah, man. Got to toughen up. But you see how obvious it was to me, right? Like, you gave me your stats, and I know that you're beating the stakes, and then you tell me how much you're down and what the results were, how many buy-ins you were up over here, how many buy-ins you lost down there. That's how obvious it was to me. I'm just going to call because he's getting froggy. I would 3-bet this a lot, but I mean, this is going to be hard to get action, but we got to put some money in. Hopefully he's got a 6. I mean, if he's thinking about it, he might have a pair. It could just look like bullshit. He could even have an ace. I'm probably going to overbet the river. Yeah. Wow. All in on the flop. And no means no gets lucky. I mean, everybody knows how tilted he is. Oh, that was on this table. See what I mean? Like, this was raise, call, re-raise, call. Is there any other player you're getting it in here with? When he bets 16, he just jams, call. It's amazing. Perfectly trapped and got sucked out on. Yeah. I told you, man, no means no is going to lose his fucking mind. I'm going to trade out this table for another one. Or probably this one. He's like the spot. Some guys just load up certain amounts of money for like the 1 or 2 days a week that they play. Like, they'll just say, oh, I'm going to put on $500 and play this weekend or whatever. But Sunday, they always come out. You don't see this guy much during the week. And he's just such a target. It's crazy. And now that those kings got cracked, like, even though he cracked the 9s and he's got all the money back, it's like, it doesn't matter. He's just gonna fucking be off his fucking shit. So, it's tough because it just means you want to ISO against him. I love that he's in the big blind over here. Like, I've limp folded a few to him, but if I get a good hand, it's going to be limp. He's going to raise. I'm going to re-raise, and he's going to over-jam. So, like, and I don't need aces, just, like, queens or ace-queen suited or jacks, I guess. Go ahead and 3-bet here. 6-7 hasn't done too much, so I think he just got bored. Limp and leave. Like, all the money has gone to this fucking guy. Well, I'm up too, but he's up so much more. But he's been there, well, we've been there about the same amount of time. How long has he been here? 167 minutes. I've been here 163. We're the only ones winning on the table. Oh, a couple guys. Johnny's got a couple bucks. This guy's got a couple bucks above the $50 min max. Wow. Hey, this guy tagged as a rock. He usually buys in short. Ooh, open ender. I think we win. I'm just trying to get a bet out of him. Good for you. Raise, call. Checks flop, I bet flop. I love how he has the 9 and he takes that long. It's so funny because I almost folded it because he took so long. Look at this. No means no just plays a fucking 240 big blind pot with fucking 6-5. Yeah, he's just tilting. He's out of there. He's just gonna bust this and then leave. Yeah, he's losing his mind. He's got like 100 left out here. Oh, it sucks. I don't want to be on this table anymore because I've been here so long. This one in the top right. But I do have a table on the side. The problem is no means no left. It's not a great table. Yeah. I guess I'm staying here. Yeah, I'm just looking for no means no. Ooh, there's a player I haven't seen in a while. I see another player. He quit. I remember dealing at the Venetian back in 06. And I was dealing the big game because they had poached it from Bobby's room because they were offering all these perks and shit like that. And eventually the guys went back to Bobby's room. It was no big deal. But it was like Phil Ivey. Who else was there? I think David Benjamin was there. I'm pretty sure Michael Mizrachi was there. There was like a couple of guys that you would have really known around that time, right? Like real, pros. And then there was like 2 businessmen, and the businessmen were just getting housed, and then they had some kind of meeting and they had to leave, and they said, okay, well, we're going to take off. And it was a full table. There was like 7 people there, and then these 2 guys left, and I started dealing the next hand, and David Benjamin said, no need. And I was like, what? And I looked around and everybody was leaving. It was like as soon as these guys were out of earshot, the game just broke. So it's like there are absolutely players. Well, now this table's garbage. There are absolutely players that you just hunt, and no means no is one of them. And now that he's gone, there's no reason for me to stay on this table. Well, this was a min-raised pot. By here, called a few ways. Whoa. I'm just going to check. There's a lot of king jacks out there. Pocket 9s. I don't think I could fold, though. Wow. Glad I checked, man. Like, that's why you check, is to get that. Because if I bet, what happens? Like, Like, I can't bet full pot, right? That's crazy. Yeah, I'm going to get off this table in the top right over here. This one. And get on this one over here. I'll bring it into spot, but... yeah, that's just no good. So, bring in this one. Could have 3-bet that. You win. Aces, baby. Let's set it off. No real action on aces today. And I do believe I have to bet that big. And with this guy Hollywood in there and Thousandaire, absolutely. Yeah, now that I'm looking back, it's really just one or two big hands that throw the session, and it's not bad plays. Some I could avoid, but most are hands I'm winning until the river. Yeah, exactly. Why didn't I call this? I meant to call that. Yeah, the things to analyze are the spots like, did you have to be there? Did you pay off on the river too widely? You know, that's all. But, like, if you got the money in on the turn and got 3 outed, like, what are you fucking bitching about? Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how can you possibly be upset, you know? It's just, like, you got to remember, that's why people play. Like, not everybody's studying like you. Think about it like this. Think about a world in which everybody's studying like you, everybody's into poker like you, everybody's profitable like you. Why would you ever play? Right? The reason why we, look at this. The reason why we play is because of that luck factor. Wow, these fucking morons. Good thing you jammed, bro. If he had the patience to stick, see, he should have stuck with the trap. If he had stuck with the trap, I would have gotten all of it. I would have gotten all of it. He should have just called. If he's just going to call pre-flop, and then even if he's going to check raise, he should not be check jamming, I would have gotten it all. His bad play cost me money. That's really shitty. Really shitty. That's like the worst way you could play that hand. Because he trapped with it. He trapped ace-king, he hit the ace, and then he went for the check raise. And then he was just up against the same fucking hand. The best case scenario is he's up against the same hand. That's his best outcome. Ace-queen doesn't call you. Like, you think ace-queen calls you for a check jam for 100 blinds effective? You're out of your fucking mind. But ace-king calls, but it's like the minimum. Let me check here. On this one. So, I don't expect him to have too many bluffs, but here's the thing. I do have backdoors to the flush and the straight, and it is a four-way pot, and I don't expect him to bet turns unless he has 2-pair plus. So, plus with this call, he might be a little scared now that he's up against 2-pair, so I definitely think we can keep going. This is where the king-queen lives, right there. He shouldn't be betting at all unless he has 2-pair plus. Like, I don't think the ace is good. But and the longer he takes, the worse I feel about it. Like, there's no bet on this river. If this player bets, it's king queen or better. It's a set of tens or better. It's usually king queen. So we're just gonna check. King queen. And if you have two pair, you should fold here. But knowing this guy, he could have something as strong as a set of fucking aces. I mean, probably a set of tens, but he's never raising. But he should just fold. Like, this is the most obvious gut shot fill I've ever seen. If you can pull off this move and overbet the river, which you're supposed to overbet river bluffs, like, he can have like the 3-4 of clubs too. Pocket eights, ace 10. Wow. That's crazy. He floated and went for it. Good for him. That was a really nice play. It should have worked too, but you're up against an OMC. But if you have two pair, you're just supposed to keep betting. So he played it wrong. Nice. Always paid. Always paid. One pair. 9-9. Nines on this board. I'm never bluffing there. Oh, don't leave. This was raised and called twice. Full pot. Called by Eric. This can definitely be a 9 or a full house, but I don't think we can fold the nut flush draw just yet. All right. Full house, Eric, or made the 10? Yeah. I was going to say Jack 10, but made the 10. It's a nice play. King Jack. Good block. raise. Like the perfect thing to do, only if you have aces. Because this is going to spark a re-raise. Not from me, though. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Guy up here bet pot, and I called. I think I win with the jack. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and bet again so we can get some value out of flush draws. The other guy had ace-10. He leads for 4. This is blockery. He can have, obviously, he can have some better full houses, but I think we just have to go for value here. He can also have a deuce. He can have pocket 7s or 9s, but it's the only thing that beats me unless he has pocket deuces. But he's just going to have ace-deuce too often. Ace-deuce of clubs is out there. 10-deuce. Doyle will tell you don't win with that hand. Thanks, bro. Oh, this guy had top pair. Like, and there's no reason to not raise here. Like, the most likely hand he has is a deuce. I mean, and when he river bets $4. The point of this blocker betting is to get to showdown, but then I go super big, almost 5x. Oh, I got aces. We'll get back to that. Oh, god damn it. I didn't even get to set it off yet. Hey. I'll defend. If he has an ace, he pays off. But he didn't have an ace. But yeah, this one. So, like, he's supposed to bet fold here. Like, you can even bet, like, 8 here, and if you get raised, you can fold, because it's going to be too much, but he just pays right off with the fucking deuce. It's hilarious. It's a limp pot, too. He was in the big blind. It's a limped pot. And I bet the flop. Like, I bet the flop. That's why that river bet gets paid, because it looks like I could be on a flush draw. And then I just keep trying to get money out of flush draws. And then, bang. It's so good. It's a limped pot. That's pretty good. Ah. Overbet. It doesn't matter. I think I'm good, but it doesn't matter. This guy's gonna torch. Trust. He's one of these guys who's in from Cali for the weekend. And he's gonna torch. Not a great flop. This be like King Jack, King Queen. What can have an ace, which is amazing. I have no interest. It's not even a thing. Oh my god, take longer, dude. Do you not know to bet 2 pair? You can bet Queen Jack here. 6. Like, dude, your last action. You're never going to bet. Queen 9, my 5s. You're never going to bet, bro. Pocket 5's heating up. See a limp from Hollywood, which we expect. Raise from Cat and X, which we expect. No 5 on the flop, which we expect. I'm gonna bet small. There is a chance that Cat and X has a 7 and is trapping. I think we do have to check now. When the queen comes off, we can check. I think I lose to a 6. But he can definitely have a 7. Can have pocket 3s. Can also have, like, King Jack. Ace Deuce. Ace Deuce of spades with no no spade draw. Alright, alright. We're going to try to play pots with him. I'll just check that. Yeah, good for you. Look at these two brainiacs. Check raise. Check raise flush. Oh. That 8 sucks. Damn it. I counterfeited. Hey. Do we get to set it off? Yeah. Hey. That thing's glitchy. God damn it.
One time, can I get a hand?
Huh. I mean, you basically have to play exploitable all day on Sundays. I think we can ditch this table. That's a good card. I mean, I can't really raise, right? Because he can have king, queen, but he can also just be full of utter shit. This is my problem. I think I'm good. He had a queen, wow. I get 3-bet by Johnny Fremont. I don't know him to over-raise too much. Okay. I'm on a list for another table. I'll have 4 back up in a minute. Lost a hand, Queen Jack versus King 5 off. Ooh. Ho, ho, ho. Oh my god, the old man coffee, cold 4 bets. I like that, kids. It's just not worth it. If it was suited, I would think about it. But I have too much on the table. Like, if I had 50 at the start of the hand, I'd maybe jam it. Because I know this bet's bullshit a lot, but I have to jam. I can't just call, right? If it was suited, I could call. But offsuit, I think I just have to jam. And this crazy fucker, like, he's kind of nuts, but he's also an OMC, so he's going to have ace-queen sometimes, but he's also going to have every pair of jacks plus. And honestly, I think jacks he might just call. I think this guy really screwed it up. I think if he doesn't raise, this guy doesn't 4-bet. So, funny the way that works. But it's not worth playing. It's just like, I'm not trying to play like monster race pots, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get it in aces and kings pre-flop, but that's almost about it. Like ace-king, I don't have to race it, especially not for 145 blinds. Like, let's do 100 blinds, maybe. Like, but he's still kind of a maniac and super tight. So, like, he overvalues hands. So he's only playing the top 15 to 20% of hands, right? And he knows little things like he should squeeze. But that wasn't a squeeze spot. That was a cold 4-bet, right? So I got to say at worst, he's going to have... See, normally I would say queens, but honestly, ace-queen suited is his at worst. But that's one combination of hands I have dominated. Everything else is either a race or I'm crushed. Like aces, kings, queens, jacks, ace king and ace queen suited. I don't think ace jack suited, even with his shitty, like whatever, I don't think ace jack suited creeps in there. Like we saw him go for ace jack suited versus a maniac player, but I'm not a maniac. And it wasn't like it was like raise, re-raise, jam. It was like raise, re-raise, re-raise. So it's like a cold 4-bet out of position. Yeah, I don't like it. I think it's fine. It's not a tournament. If it was a tournament, different story. Well, you know, even for 145 blinds, I'm not doing it in a tournament. In a tournament, I'm doing it for like 40 blinds. In that exact scenario, probably 40 blinds max. Yeah, I'm not even doing it for 50. Yeah, I think 40 blinds is the maximum there. And it would have to be early, and we'd have to not be in the cash. Like, it'd have to be in a rebuy period. where I'm like just about average stack and that's 40 blinds, that's when I would do it. Like I don't think I would do it with 2 tables left. I would just fold. Because with 2 tables left, having 40 blinds, you're like first or second in chips. Ooh, got another table. Oh, I gotta wait 2 minutes. Not in the range. Not today. It's so funny. Thursday night, I'm playing King Queen in second all night. I'm not even thinking about it on Sunday afternoon. I'm not even thinking about it. Like, it's just not dominating enough. I think we can defend here. I don't like it for a squeeze. I'm the most likely guy to have a 5. And I think all my cards are live as long as it's not a diamond. But even then, I mean, if he had called, then I'm worried about diamonds. But I think any pair or a 5 wins it for me there. Ooh, baby. Haven't had aces in days. I've gotten them 4 times and gotten no action. Come on. Do it again. Oh, that sucks. I'm going to go for the same bet. I'm just hoping he has a set. It's very hard for him to have flushes. Sometimes betting in round numbers is good too. I mean, if he cracks me here, it's whatever. But, I mean, he min-raised so he can have all pairs. So there'll be 47 in the pot, so it'll be just over a pot-sized bet on the river if he calls. I should have gone a little bit bigger. I should have gone like 16. Well, I mean, if he's got quads, it's too bad. I think he's gonna have some weird aces here. I mean, I can't believe he's thinking about it. He might have kings here and actually pay me. It's going to look like bullshit to him because I made the bets all round numbers. Like, do you have to know? Do you gots to know? Hopefully he's got fives. Wow. I honestly thought we were going to get him there. Maybe 35 was too much. Maybe 30. He never calls an all-in. He's not one of those guys. Not bad. Not bad. I think we got the max. I think maybe he had like tens or something. And because he's just that sticky. It's an interesting hand. Same guy. What did you think he had? Look at that, pocket tens. Could have gone bigger. But no, maybe not, because the flush is out there. I don't think he... I don't know if he pays off with the flush out there. Let's see. We'll lock up that table. I'm on the waiting list for 2 more tables, but I only have 2 right now. This guy's gonna torch. I mean,
come on. How do you guys expect to beat me?
I mean, come on, dude. I'm on the top of the list for these other tables. Still cold out?
No, it's actually decently warm.
Oh, nice. The sun seems
to not
bright.
have this jacket on, and I decided to walk to Mom's, and we hung out over there for a little bit.
Nice.
But it was hot over there because it was hot because.
Well, I had to close the blinds. The fucking sun looks like it's blaring.
It is definitely doing something. Oh, I forgot I had the cake. Is she picking it up? I prefer it if you're gonna be.
I'm just gonna go over around 7. I don't know if I'm staying. What's the...
I just don't like not having the car for hours. You know, if you're gonna be gone and you don't know if you're staying, so if we wind up staying. It's a thing that makes me feel like trapped in
Alright.
No, these go in my purse. This goes in the bathroom. This goes in my purse. Whew. I might go sit outside and smoke to cool off. Jesus. Chuchi, you are... He was so hyper at Mom's.
Look at his face.
Bro.
It was an exciting day.
And Terry was playing with him. And, he kept trying to get to this paper towel on the side table. And I told Terry about how I think he's the paper shredder.
It's possible.
And so Terry, because Terry had put out the little, he has a little mat for them to, because, you know, Chuchi likes the cushion. And he put the paper towel on the cushion. Sure enough, Chuchi went right over there and shredded that shit.
I
said, it is Chuchi. It is Chuchi.
It's so weird because
I've going off on Sergeant.
I've seen Sergeant do it. I've never seen Choo Choo do it.
He is the paper towel culprit.
I think they both do it.
I don't think he does regular paper. Like this one will do anything. Bags.
Yeah.
I think Chuchi only does paper towels because it was just for fun. He went over there and just started immediately, no hesitation, shred it to pieces.
It's so crazy.
And then walked away from it and sat there and stared at it.
I did that.
Right. You have water and food. You are not giving any treats right now.
Wow. I was thinking I'm calling that, but you know what? Nope. Because it looks... Oh, my God. Don't put a 4 of spades out there.
You guys have had an outing. Time for Mommy to have an outing.
Oh, that's so
invited me to Blue Martini again tonight.
That's nice of her.
Yeah, my hair is washed.
I think it's just going to matter about your energy level. Look at this. Wow. One pair. Wow. Good fold by me. Wow, that is some bad play. This player raised. I called a bet on the flop. Probably calling a river bet. Oh, he didn't make it. Deuces. Sorry, trying to get this centered up. And that's my third table. Can I get on the fourth? Nope, I gotta wait 25 minutes for the rat hole. What about this one? I gotta wait 10 minutes on that one. I've doubled up too many times. Yeah. They raised and they folded. So we got 3 tables right now. Be nice if I had a diamond. Take a free card. Yeah. Appreciate you guys all being here.
Hello there.
Lots of peoples. I'm just playing some cash games. Busted tournaments early. How long do I have to wait on this table? 20 minutes? Jesus. Keep an eye on this other one. There's another table, but it's only got 2 players, so I'm not going to get in yet. No interest. Ooh, some interest. Now, a lot of people make the mistake here and bet. I do believe it's checkable. Like, because this player is kind of FPS, so he could look for a reason. So I think we're just going to try to realize our equity. He's going to bet like 80% of the time. Alright. Nothing there. I'm just going to check fold. And I got this going on the new table. Yeah, the guy bet 243 on the end. I'm just going to fold. If I had bet flop, I would have bet for a river, but yeah, it's fine. We can just let him have it. What about this table? I gotta wait 6 minutes. God damn it. Banitha. Banitha bark. calm in here. Cat and X limp. Raise. Kinda saw it coming. And just power bombs at it. It's fine. Raise pre-flop. You can definitely have ace jack, ace queen. More likely he has ace jack now. That's just a great way to get busted, man. Ooh, look at this. Kings. He is a light 3-better, but I'm definitely not surprised if I see aces here. I don't know. He min raised. I don't know what that is. Aces. King it. King it. He just min 3-bets. Like, it's so dumb. Just ran into aces twice. Awesome, because I was going to quit, and then I have to run into that hand, so I lose a buy-in. Great. Awesome. It's just so stupid. Whatever. I'm up 2 buy-ins now, which means I won 3 because I paid for all my tournaments. I had won 4, but you just saw I just lost a buy-in there. That shit happens. When he re-raised, I didn't feel good about it either, but I don't think I'm getting away from it on that board. On this board. It's like, yeah, the money would have gone in by the river anyway. I just got a chance to get a king. That's fine. Whatever. All right, I'm going to take a break. I might be back later tonight. Probably not. I'll probably see you guys, if not tomorrow. If I'm playing during the day, then I'll be on tomorrow morning. If not, I'm probably planning on being on tomorrow night because I have some things I want to do during the day. But I'll see you later. It was a lot of fun, profitable day. Kings and aces. What are you going to do? All right, I will see you.